Exorcism is alive and well. The Bible is filled with demons. If you believe in God, you have to believe in the devil.
Just don't let your little girl wear those gowns, those demon gowns, those like in the Exorcism and this movie, little girls who wear bad night clothes always get possessed.
Well, hey, that's usually when you go to Walmart. That's like the first thing you see, for the $10 rack. You're like, all right, that's easy. I can wear that. I bought one. Shit. Why not?
That's what a demon is like. That bitch up at Walmart, I'm possessing her ass.
Well, if you notice in every movie where the dad turns out to be a pedophile who rapes his own daughter, they're always wearing those too.
Easy access, usually. That's what I read. Not that I condone that. But.
Yeah, I'm saying you're right. Just dressing your daughter in those nightgowns is just a bad idea across the board.
Oh yeah.
Although if you are the kind of person who dresses your daughter in that, then the cops maybe need to come have a chat with you.
Yeah, this is bad news all around.
Are you just saying nightgowns in general? I mean, what should they wear to bed? Camping gear? I'm unclear here.
Teddies.
Yeah, anything. Put in a garter belt and bra. Anything but that shit. If you want her soul to be clean. It's funny. You got to dress slutty for your soul to be saved.
I have a feeling that your goal here is not to save these girls from being possessed by the devil. You want to put something in them.
Well, Corey does have an extra pair of horns.
Nah, man, we were talking about the Last Exorcism, which
hopefully is literal and not because the movie.
You know this ain't the last one.
But I just hate that. It's like, what Final Fantasy are we up to now? I mean, at least call it if you're like, this had a big reaction early on, so they could have changed the name to the Penultimate Exorcism.
I know.
Or one more exorcism.
I know.
Son of exorcism.
It's like, what's the sequel going to be called? Like, nah, for real. This is the last exorcism.
Exorcism for the road.
Yeah. Okay, we was playing last time. That'll be the tagline. We were playing last time.
This is probably the next to the last exorcism.
Because honestly, all the movies are starting to look, all the movie posters are starting to look the same, where you're just like, wait a minute, didn't I just see this with that other chick from
Emily
that other
Rose?
movie?
Didn't she get
Emily Rose
possessed too?
Yeah, I thought it was like a director's cut.
And you know what? She had that gown on.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, always that gown and that goddamn cross on
it's
that
like,
poster.
it's something about them gowns. Demons look at that and they be like, honey, that's good. I'm about to get up all in that shit.
I was flying past his house until I saw that nightgown, and I had to stop.
No.
I love the feeling of this lace on my skin.
I know. Demons be looking up and be waking them up. Girl, where did you get that from? I simply have to have it.
I think Miley Cyrus is going to put her name on those fucking.
She is a demon. Man, Leon, you didn't see this.
No. Who's the girl in this one? We had Reagan, we had Emily Rose. Now, what's this?
Oh, she has
Reagan. Reagan was definitely possessed by a demon. Oh, you mean, okay.
Yeah, she does have one of those southern names that say, yeah, you are trouble. Was it Nell? Yeah, it's Nell. It's somebody.
Nell Carter.
Yeah, if your girl's name is Nell, she's either a fat black woman, retarded, or possessed by the devil.
or Jodie Foster's there trying to teach her how to speak English.
Yeah. Now the actress is Ashley Bell who plays her, but it's not even about her. And this is what I really enjoyed about this film. I'm curious to hear what everybody else thinks about this. There's an actor in here named Patrick Fabian. Is that his name? I can't see over there. He plays a character called Cotton Marcus. He's a guy. He's a pastor. And he's questioning his faith.
A pastor?
A pastor.
He's a pastor.
He's green, long. He's like a meadow of milk and honey.
Pastor Cotton.
He's just been pasteurized.
Yeah, he's all dairy. No, goddamn. Okay, he's a preacher, goddamn it. And one of those southern pastors, all coming out. He gives those sermons where it's almost like the televangelists that we see on TV.
Okay,
and he's traveling,
brother love, traveling salvation.
Yeah. Revival tent. Somebody that Penn and Teller probably can't stand.
Yeah. He's one of those. Lord, once you get up and walk, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, very charismatic. Some people would say, even though he's screaming everything, but he is questioning his faith. And as we start to learn more about this preacher, we learn that his profession is probably more of a business to him than him actually believing in God or anything having to do with religion or faith.
Man, what aberrant preacher. I'm glad the rest of them aren't like that.
I know. He's so odd.
Well, he looks at his job like he's selling vacuum cleaners, really.
Yeah.
Selling these people shit that doesn't work. And hey, they keep giving me money, so hey, it ain't my money, it's the Lord's money, so there ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's the interesting twist about his character, though, is like in another movie, it just would have been a preacher who maybe they would have touched on the fact that, yeah, he was a little shady, but this is a guy who's come to a crisis in his faith, and he's realized what he's been doing and what his father did and his father's father before that. That basically they're just con men, they're snake oil salesmen, and what they do is wrong, faith or not.
Yeah.
And so he's decided that this is going to be the last exorcism, that he's going to find one and he's going to go there with a documentary film crew and he's going to show all the tricks he uses and that every exorcist uses to convince these people this is really going on, like tying wires to shit and fake smoke pellets and shit.
Yeah.
That guy has like a whole Batman arsenal.
Yeah, he was a special effects artist.
Okay.
Yeah, once he's done with this, he should go work for Stan Winston Studios or something. But I mean, yeah, and that's what I loved about this film. The more I thought about the movie, the more I loved it at the beginning of it, because these fake documentary movies, especially when they center on the supernatural or ghost or something is unnatural going on, it doesn't set up any of that at first. It really is a character piece about this man who you really kind of have mixed feelings about. Yeah, he's kind of slimy, but not only is at a crossroads with his faith, but he ain't got no money. He's just like, shit, fuck it, I'm about to do what I can to eat. And my son he has medical bills. My wife is fine. I ain't about to lose this piece of ass right here. So,
Thank you, God.
Yeah, praise Jesus.
Now here's a character I can believe in.
Yeah. And the movie doesn't do anything creepy at all. The creepiest thing it does is that when you follow him to the south, to where he's going to do this last exorcism, Louisiana,
That's creepy in itself. Huh?
Yeah, the family that he's going to, they're just an odd family. I mean, they really weird you out. The first guy that they meet, and we were talking about how good that kid is. They named a lot of these. Caleb, yeah, they name a lot of these actors after their characters, or the characters after the actors.
After the actors?
Yeah, his name is Caleb. The actor is actually named Caleb Landry Jones. He was really good. Like, they pull up.
Caleb Landry Jones. That sounds like a serious Southern Gothic, deep in the swamp Louisiana name.
Wait till you meet the guy.
Yeah, they pull up and he tells them, they like, hey, can you tell us where this house is? And he's like, yeah, I can. What you do is you make a U-turn and get the fuck out of here. and right then and there, he starts throwing rocks at the car. And she's like, all right, man, now, even before anything starts, y'all need to go.
Maybe we could ask this guy.
Nope, he's stopping.
He is?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, afternoon.
You guys making a movie?
A documentary, actually. How's it going?
Good, I like documentaries.
Oh, cool.
Oh, good. We're looking for the Sweetzer Farm. Can you help
What's
us?
your name?
Reverend Cotton Marcus.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. The Sweetzer Farm, please?
Yours?
Hi, me, Reese. This is Daniel.
Hey.
Sorry, we're just a little behind schedule, so.
No problem.
The Sweetzer Farm, please.
Right, we're going the wrong direction. You want to make a U-turn, actually.
Okay.
You want to take this road, go straight.
Uh-huh.
You see things you already seen before, keep on going. You're going to hit the highway. Okay? And then I want you to go back where you came from.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm
Gotcha. Thank you. Sorry about that.
Whoa, what? Jeez.
And that's the thing, and that is scary because you know what, that shit happens. So
Yeah, that seems real.
Immediately, it pulls you in because you know what, that's the great thing that works about this film is that every character you meet, you realize, man, there's something fucked up, screwy about this person, and it really makes you wonder, like, what town did they just enter? Like, this has to be like the most craziest hell-bent town of witchcraft or whatever creepy shit is going on. So it really helps out the atmosphere with this family, you actually come to meet.
And they stick around, though.
It's their white crew. Yeah.
There's no black people in this movie.
Well, they know that these are the type of people that they're going to meet.
There's no black people in this movie because if there had been, the moment that kid threw a rock in the back of that truck, it would have been like, ah!
Yeah, well,
they would have gotten out and just beat the shit out
hey,
of them.
motherfucker, come here.
It would have been a whole nother movie. Yeah.
Keep going.
It would have been called The Last Beatdown.
And there is a black person in this movie about 10 miles away. Seriously, they interview somebody
from his heels kicking up. Like Roadrunner.
And also like the cool thing about the movie is there's like a few interviews that they do. And it kind of makes you wonder, like, did they actually pull people from this area that they filmed this in and just had them go off on their rants about, ghosts and even UFOs? Because it's really convincing and it really does set the atmosphere up for this film.
Even though I thought, what that was supposed to do wasn't supposed to set a creepy atmosphere, it was supposed to be, more of him, doing these interviews and looking at the camera and going, you see, this is what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with superstitious people who will believe fucking anything.
And you're fucking telling me those people don't creep you out?
No, see, well, they do in real life because they vote. But other than that, in the context of the film, it's like him just trying to prove his point. Mm-hmm. And you're right, these people they are all creepy in their own way, and that you find out that they have deeper secrets. But we're not talking like Deliverance level rednecks. They seem like real people. It's just the deeper we get into their lives, the less we wish we were getting deeper into their lives.
Yeah.
And what's neat about that is the film has this balanced question of like, is this girl that they've been brought there to do the exorcism for, is she really possessed? Or is she just fucked up by all the shit in this family and the people around her? I mean, is she like schizoid to the point where she really just is convinced that she's possessed and doing just horrible, horrible shit to herself?
Yeah,
I mean, you don't know.
Yeah, because the guy who plays the father, the actor named Louis Hertham, you don't know if I don't know what kind of incest makes you think you're the devil and start contorting backwards and shit, but you don't know if like there's some sort of family issue that's happening that's just making her very schizophrenic, or if she's possessed by the devil. And this guy, either way it goes, this guy has gotten way over his head because forget the ghost for a while. It's the family, especially the father, that seems dangerous. And it's the layering of this film that way that also makes it seem better than the average film done this way. And the director, this is a German director named Daniel Stamm.
So this is not Eli Roth?
No, he produced it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's another Tarantino now? He doesn't even have to do the work. He just
maybe someone
stamps his
pointed
name
out
on it.
he's a terrible fucking director and he should just produce other people's
Okay.
I like Hostel and Cabin Fever, but yeah, I mean, I'm bringing this up to bring a point into the review that I did an interview with him, and he did talk about how he's like, look, I can't direct everything that I want to do. This is a great story. I would love to direct it, but gave it to somebody who looks like this is better suited for them. And this guy, Daniel Stamm, did a movie called A Necessary Death, which was shot also in this documentary style. So he knows how to do this convincingly. I mean, the more you watch, because I'm real observant of the documentary style of filmmaking.
Yeah.
So footage movies.
Yeah. So if I will say that some people might have done this better that way because at first it's very convincing, but as the movie goes along, technically you start to see, oh well, wait a minute, they have a 2-camera setup here where it would have been just 1 camera, and I can tell that they're actors right here. But for the most part, because of the actors that he's brought in, it is convincing from that standpoint.
I agree with you. One of the biggest flaws is that they're not careful enough with that, because if that's your premise, if it's found footage, then it's real important that you stick within that premise. Otherwise, it takes you right out of the damn thing, and they don't fuck up blatantly with that up until I feel like the end, which for me is sort of the perfect storm type of thing. Like, it's like, wait, where did this even come from?
Well, you know what the thing. Well, so go ahead.
Well, I just want to. I mean, what you guys are saying about the story intrigues me. But at the same time, this found footage thing, I'm thinking about 2 movies I hated, which were The Fourth Kind and what was that? The 2 people in the Paranormal Activities.
Right.
How does it compare to those?
I would say that this is better because, like I said, it's not about the supernatural at first. It is a character study of this preacher, and this guy, whatever his name is, Patrick Fabian. He's great in this role. He's a character actor right now. He's been in tons of TV shows, but this guy, I thought he was amazing as far as he was carrying the movie himself throughout that first 2/3.
And there's other good found footage movies. I mean, look at Cloverfield. That's a found footage film. You love that.
I do love Cloverfield.
What I wanted to talk about was that, you guys had, I guess there's moments where you thought there was probably too much camera setup. I actually liked it, only for the fact that I know this movie isn't going to turn off a lot of people who actually don't like those movies because of that, because the camera's all over the place where, there was never a moment in this movie where it made me feel like sick or nauseous, which I normally don't have a problem with, but I know a lot of people even hate the fact that movies like this come out in the theater because they just can't stand to be in the theater and watch something like this. But you know what? I have to tell everyone, don't worry about it with this film because it is shot competently enough to where it's not so much a distraction as far as what's going on in the story. Because the focus is on the guy who's doing the exorcism, and he does such an amazing job that you really get wrapped up in his backstory, what he's doing. But when you meet this family, you get even wrapped up more into them, and just the movie does a good job of leading you in all the wrong directions, really, which I've found real fascinating about, because it does make you think like, oh shit, maybe this isn't set up what I think it's about to set up. But the only problem with it is that once it does get to that end, it becomes the movie the same movie that you thought that you were hoping it wouldn't be.
Yeah, when you saw the trailer,
just that,
and you were like, "Oh man, I hope it doesn't go this way."
Yeah,
and it totally
Yeah,
does.
it completely does.
And that's the good thing about the movie. He's exactly right. For the most of the film, it doesn't look like people are holding the camera through an earthquake. Because they shake it out, or look like they got shot on the deck of the Enterprise. Where everybody's shaking, the camera's all shaky and everything. It's not like that. They're
filming a documentary film. It's footage they want to keep and use, so it's not all shaky.
Yeah. It doesn't look like they're running the whole time. They actually keep that camera pretty still. Somebody finally got a camera with an image stabilizer on it.
So should I watch the first hour of it and then leave?
Well, let me tell you about that ending. I mean, it does turn into almost to a T. If I don't want to ruin anything for anybody, but look, if you almost including something like not just these supernatural movies, but including something like Cloverfield. I mean, the way they ended this movie has been done so many times that to see this movie do something so different for the first 2/3 and then at the very end go out the way it did is really disappointing. I hated that ending.
Well, specifically within the realm of occult and devil-oriented films, it's such a generic, like, wow, we've been through this so many times already. I mean, hell, the defining film of those has this exact same ending. So it's like, come on.
You know what I thought? I thought, oh God, did Eli Roth, did he take charge of the last 10, 15 minutes of this movie? Because I could totally see him doing that.
All right, move.
I know this isn't like action packed. People aren't going to get what you're doing here.
Yeah.
But I'm taking a cheap jab at that guy. But that's the thing about this ending, though. It's like if this was structured or done in a completely opposite way of what they did, honestly, this movie, at least for me, would have been a full price, easily. And it's too bad that it didn't go that other route, because I think this is a movie that people would be talking about. It's like when you get to that end, though, it's like, oh God, I've seen this done before, and I've seen it done better.
Hey, so you didn't get to that point, you're all hyped up and then go, no!
It's not even like I totally hated it, because I was enjoying that movie so much, and I really was. I was 100% with it, that when it got to the end, I was like, oh, well, I guess I had my hopes up too high.
Yeah.
And, it's not like... It's not embarrassingly bad. It's mainly just bad decision making, worse than being filmed badly.
It's not like the chick you're with. You find out like as soon as you get into bed, she has a penis. Nothing like that.
And how many times does that happen to you?
It's more like you find out she was stuffing her bra.
You know what? You're right. Yeah, it gives you illusion of something, and when you finally get down to it, it's not what you wanted. And I think that's where it really hurts this film, because with a bad ending, it does kind of put a bad taste in your mouth for the rest of the film. Especially when you watch it again. I don't, as much as I enjoyed it, that first experience watching it again, it's going to be a little too hard for me to really enjoy it like I did.
Because you know where it's going. Plus, when you see something you really like, you can't wait to go out and tell people and get them there.
Oh yeah.
And then with an ending where it sounds like the one y'all are saying, it keeps you from going out and telling people. If somebody comes to you saying hey, should I go see this?
Dude,
I'd be like, oh yeah, I guess.
I was so excited.
People that look. It might not bug you, the ending. Because I've talked to people who didn't at all. They were like, I didn't have a problem with that. Okay, good for you. I'm glad it didn't, because the whole rest of the movie is so great. I'm glad it's not going to get totally ignored by some people because of what I thought was a crappy ending.
That's what I was going to say. It ain't like the Coen brothers came in and finished this movie off, and Tommy Lee Jones just came out of nowhere, and you're like, what the fuck just happened here?
With a Coen brothers movie, it'd be like the ending was shot, but they just decided not to show it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's nothing like that, because you're exactly right. I was thinking not only with the way this movie's being advertised, it's probably going to disappoint some people for the parts that we love so much. And then the last part is probably going to be what people really like. They've been like, well, it didn't make no sense until the end. I was waiting on monsters and ghosts and shit.
And here we've got actually a pretty intense character drama.
Yeah.
That, is leaving it up to the audience. Presuming its audience is intelligent, this film, it really does. And I love that quality, especially a horror movie that does that.
Well,
and then comes down to the whole, we know the dumb people got to have something.
But you know what? That's the thing. I was just about to say, by judging the box office, how that's been working out lately, I mean, I'm not going to be surprised this movie does $1 billion if it's going to be the next Paranormal Activity, because now I just can't guess. Where I'm like, okay, I have seen this done better, but for the average movie-going audience, more than likely they'll eat it up.
Yeah.
And if they do, I'm glad, because you know what, the director, at least, I really thought he did a great job of just doing a documentary style of film like this that we've seen a billion times. I thought he did a great job of what he had until that ending, though. I mean, it'd be interesting to see him do another film like this and learn from the mistakes of this one. But more than likely, he probably won't.
Well, like we said, when they make We For Real, we'll get that chance. There's another.
My favorite writer is Stephen King.
I'm going to bring up one more point about this, but before I do, let's just talk about what we give this movie, and I'll go ahead and start. I mean, I really do like the movie enough to where I hate that ending, but it doesn't take away anything. It's like No Country for Old Men. It doesn't take away anything that I loved about what I saw of it before, so I would give it a matinee.
Wow, I'm surprised you didn't get slightly higher than that because of that. I was going to say, for me, for the exact same reasons, it's a high matinee. I mean, this would have been easily a full price if it wasn't for the fact that it goes so terribly wrong at the end. It's just, it feels like, what was the point of all that other stuff that was so smart and neat and cool if you're just going to go here in the end? But a high matinee is definitely enough that I hope that people are going to go and decide for themselves.
Man, the way you were talking, I thought you were going to give it a full price. You're like, I can't believe you didn't give it what I would give it, a matinee.
As well.
I will suck this film's
I'll suck its cross. But I'm shocked by
you just turned off our full Christian crowd out there.
Oh, sorry about that. But
that's like that happened in The Exorcist. Fuck me, Jesus. Fuck me.
I'm giving it matinee only because the ending did kind of ruin the movie for me, and it was almost like, I'll say it again, like Eli Roth took over that camera and just threw some shit together and filmed it, and I was like, really, that's how you went? So if you're gonna do that, why don't you go all the way? I mean, why don't you throw Predator in there?
There we go.
Everything tastes better with Predator.
I was gonna say, it's like every time we sit here to do this, co-host brings up, hey, why don't you just throw Predator in the movie?
You have officially, really beat him with his Batman references.
It got so crazy though, where I was expecting either He-Man to like jump in the scene, and I'm like, what is going on with it?
It was crazy.
It got ridiculous.
Somebody compared it to a cop film that we've seen, in a cop spoof film that we've seen. I'm not gonna name it, but somebody said, is that weird at the end?
Oh, yeah.
What were you over there laughing about, Leah?
Oh, just he shows like a bunch of puppets all saying matinee.
Hey man,
I disagree with you, sir. I give it a matinee. How dare you?
Yeah, I give it a
matinee.
A low matinee.
I can't agree with either one of you guys. I give it a matinee.
I give it a lukewarm matinee. What you think about that?
But I do picture Eli Roth going there like, no, man. You don't know what you're doing. You don't want this ending you had planned. Trust me.
Yeah.
I know how to end this movie. Just why? Because I'm fucking Eli Roth.
He just decks the guy.
I'm the bear Jew.
Beats him with a baseball bat. What I was going to bring up about this movie, though, is that it for those people who we think might not like the movie because we keep saying it's a character study, there are things in the middle of the movie that they give people to scare them, and I think it's effective. I mean, there's a scene in a house where it's almost like watching Wreck. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, it was all dark and creepy. They give you the haunted house effect.
You know what? There was a scene that I thought they were kind of paying homage to Wreck, especially when the camera goes into a different room.
Yeah, I know that part, yeah.
But people who've seen Wreck will know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
And they give you what you want to see in a possessed chick. I mean, she just does a lot of weird. The bitch is possessed by the demon of Pilates because he got that old bending all backwards and forwards. And there's one part where her face turns, she's like Don Knotts or something.
That's the first time. If you ever wondered what a possessed pretzel looked like, then go see the movie. But, what was the girl's name? Because I thought
Ashley Bell.
Okay, Ashley Bell. She did a fucking fantastic job in this film. Just, I don't know what it is, but they cast the right actress for this, because just when you were introduced to her and she's not doing anything but sitting on a bed, and you see her eyes, they are just so fucking crazy looking. It looks like there's something fucking seriously wrong with this girl and nobody should be in the room with her. But she plays it so sweet and so innocent that it works. I mean, she did a fantastic job.
Yeah, she did.
Her and the guy playing the traveling evangelist.
I think that whole family, I think everybody did good in this. Some standouts, but the actors
they
have in here, they really sold this film.
As weird and as creepy the sequences that you've probably seen in the trailers, with her all bending backwards and stuff, are the really creepy moments are the really subtle films that Ashley Bell pulls off here. Just a little tiny way that she just smiles just at the right second when it's totally inappropriate.
Yeah.
Just a tiny little smile, or the way her eyes are darting around the room. It's almost a masterful performance from this relatively young girl playing this young, innocent, naive girl who may or may not be possessed by the devil.
Yeah.
I agree to agree with you.
Yeah. Well, makes me wonder how many of those looks he's got from young girls he's had in his room before.
Wait a minute, you had girls in your room?
I know. They're looking at him like the roof is just worn off now.
You should be compelled to leave this girl. If I beseech our Lord, you may be able to stand the wiles of the devil.
In the name of Jesus Christ, I command thee to be gone!